Well, listen, I'm a big fan of beginning, middle, and end. I sound like a broken record around the office, but I really, truly believe that you need to set up a reason why to watch. I want to give you that reason, and I want to give an ending to it that says that either you can form your own conclusion, you can walk away, or at least I tied it up where you can either love it or hate it. I feel like that's missing in a lot of online social media, either shows or in pitching in general.
Break it down for us. Going in 15 to 20 years ago to a pitch meeting, what was that like?
Well,
what were people coming in with?
It was way different because back then it was the Wild West of reality TV. Like we had nothing like it before. You know, that was the beginning of like Survivor, and I did a show called Worst Case Scenario, which allowed me to become a director. I always wanted to become a director in TV, and it's funny I did it this way. Back then, sky's the limit. We had millions of dollars. I had like 50 cameras, and we could just like do stuff. At the end of the day, though, the reason why it worked was because, I don't know if you know Worst Case Scenario, it was based off a book. It was a really popular book.
Yep.
It was like a huge bestseller. So we had a show that people already knew about. So all we had to do was recreate things, whether you believed it or not, that you could survive jumping out of an airplane without a parachute, right? Fine. But it was a big deal in the book. So we would do stuff like that, and we would try to recreate that, sometimes safely, sometimes not, but to kind of give everyone sort of like an idea, or at least some sort of like that could relate to the book. And it was on TBS, produced by Columbia TriStar.
Yep.
And it made me a director for life, and definitely it got me into directing and producing and show running, and what I learned from that was you always need something that people are going to gravitate towards. Back then, for like 5 or 6 years, you could have an awesome, outrageous talent like an Ozzy Osbourne or like a Gene Simmons. You could have like crazy stuff, even Kardashians, all that stuff, crazy people. Where you can now, back then, you could like devise a show around it. You can design something for them, and then like networks or production companies or even showrunners would say, this is what we could do with them, because they're willing to do it. They're willing to go through the motions. Nowadays, I think anybody can come to the room with crazy talent, but that's not enough. You need a world, a story, or something that people can really relate to, and it's your talent that is your conduit between both of those worlds. And I think that's the success of a pitch today.